Well, thank you guys for coming. This investigation started early this month with DEA received some information. We started working with our counterparts as one, and we had a significant seizure yesterday. A methamphetamine conversion laboratory inside of a house in North Houston. It was a duplex, so the innocent neighbors next door did not know that a meth convergatory lab was next door. Those labs are like ticking bombs. They can explode any second, any minute, and kill innocent people. We seized approximately 80 gallons of liquid methamphetamine and approximately 31 kilos of methamphetamine. 80 gallons can make almost 400 pounds of methamphetamine, a street value of approximately $2 million. Look at these pictures. As the pictures go through, these are actual pictures that was inside of the house. We're extremely happy that we were able to take this off of the streets and make the streets of Houston a little bit safer today. And super important, again, is that these type of operations are really ticking bombs. They can explode at any second, causing death to innocent people. So far this year, we've cleaned about 25 laboratories. We're going to continue to work with our partners in taking care of the city of Houston and trying to make the streets safer. Next up will be Kim Ogg, the DA.
Special Agent in Charge Danny Como, thank you and the DEA for this significant drug bust and the arrest of 2 Mexican nationals undocumented in this country. I also want to thank our partners at HPD, our partners at the Sheriff's Department and the Constable's Office in Montgomery County, and everyone who participates in the high-intensity drug trafficking HIDTA, as we know it, group. This is a very intense and successful group of law enforcement working together with both federal and state prosecutors to reduce drugs coming into and leaving our city. The drug trade is inherently dangerous. We know that. Everybody involved carries guns. And innocent bystanders are hurt and killed in this country and in this county routinely over small amounts of drugs. This is a significant, large amount of drugs seized yesterday and taken off the streets of Houston. Sebastian Valencia, 33 years old, and Abraham Hernandez, 34 years old, both of Michoacan, Mexico, were arrested and charged yesterday with possession with intent to deliver more than 400 grams. Methamphetamine is in most of the pills that we see, along with fentanyl, and of course crystal meth in the form that we see it has plagued our communities for decades. Operations like this, running undercover and yet in plain sight, right in a condominium just off of Veterans Memorial in the North Houston area, that exposed innocent neighbors and countless people who are drug addicts to the poison that they were pushing in our community. It keeps addicts in a cycle of addiction, and it provides motivation to criminals who are violent and want the drug and will rob or maim or kill to get it. So the inherently dangerous work of the Drug Enforcement Administration is something that we prosecutors admire, the courage that it takes to go out and make arrests like this. These are dangerous offenders. They'll be making their first appearance in court tomorrow with our Major Narcotics Division. I want to thank Garrett Moore and my team in Major Narcotics for doing an outstanding job with these officers. They're on call 24/7, and they are the type of public servants that we all can be proud of. Special Agent in Charge Como, thank you for this great bust.
Good afternoon. My name is Reese Hardy, and I'm the Division Commander of the Houston Police Department's Narcotics Division. On behalf of the Houston Police Department, I'd like to extend our thanks to our partners at the DEA, the Harris County District Attorney's Office, the Harris County Sheriff's Office, Texas Department of Public Safety, and Montgomery County Precinct 4 Constable's Office. This seizure is one of many examples of how collaborative efforts among agencies support public safety and stem the flow of dangerous narcotics on our streets. With limited resources and strained staffing, it's through partnerships such as these that we will continue to serve our community at the highest level. I especially want to thank those on the front lines. The men and women of the Houston Police Department's Narcotics Division, alongside our partner agencies, put themselves in harm's way every day. And due to their work and sacrifice, our community is safer today than it was yesterday. Thank you.
Any questions, guys?
Do we know if the suspects have any gang connections since they're coming from so deep into Mexico?
I don't.
We don't have any gang connections at this time.
To cartel? Any cartel related?
La Michoacan,
Michoacan.
yes.
¿Es la familia?
Yes.
And my thought on that, if I can, you know, cases like this are dynamic. This team doesn't stop just because 2 people got arrested and charged. The investigation continues. Who provided them the drugs? What cartels, if any, they might be working with? Local gangs to sling the drugs here. We don't know yet, but I can assure you with these investigators and with the work of our prosecutors, we will get to the bottom of it. What we do know is that these people are helping pour drugs across our border and feed the demand that this country has, and we've got to get on top of that. In the meantime, these folks are doing a great job stopping the supply.
You talked about the demand. Why is there such a big demand in the United States for this type of drug?
Methamphetamine is cheap, gets you high quick, and it is potentially fatal. When mixed with fentanyl, as we see in pills or taken straight like this, it has a tremendous effect on the user. It's highly addictive, and it creates a desire, a demand for more. It's never been an excuse in my mind for a violent crime to be committed, and yet what we do see are buyers and addicts who are themselves victims of violent crime through rip-offs, robberies, etc. So, you know, it's just it's a black market industry that kills people.
Do you guys know if there's anything that's being done to stop the demand?
Sure. I mean, we have awareness campaigns like during Red Ribbon Week. Today's the kickoff, and we've all been out in our community telling people about the dangers of drugs and how easy it is for people to accidentally overdose these days if you buy any kind of pill or illicit drug that did not come from a pharmacy. It's likely to have both meth and fentanyl in it. So we see a steady stream of poison coming into the country with a healthy appetite for it. We need the help of our community partners who treat addicts and who are experts in addiction to keep working their angle, and meanwhile, law enforcement will keep working ours.
I think also with law enforcement now, we're doing more than just putting people in jail. We're really focusing on education and awareness. And it's really starting to play a role in the community, and we see that. We're going out to schools on a regular. We have a team that is constantly in the community, and not just DEA, all of my partners have that going on right now, and I think it's really making a difference, and we're seeing that in the community.
Can we stop the demand?
Look, we just have to keep working at it, right? It's the 3-prong approach. You have the enforcement, and you have the education and the awareness. And it's not just us. It's all the parents at home also. It's the parents that have to check the cell phones of their kids and understand that they're the parents and understand and know what your kids are doing. You have to look at the social media apps. You have to understand and know what they're doing, what they're looking at, because the drug dealers are right there at the kitchen table. The drug dealers are, wherever that cell phone is located, the drug dealers are right there.
Do you guys know how fast all that would have sold?
Look, they can sell it very quickly. You know, depending on how many people are working for the organization, it can sell within days.
Hey, Giacomo, can you talk to us about, they were in a neighborhood, in a duplex, you mentioned, am I right?
Yes.
In a duplex. So what is the risk for the neighbors
Look, any second, like I said earlier, that house was a ticking bomb. It could have exploded any second, which then could have caused death to anyone that was next door. So it breaks down, and we say it all the time. You see something, say something. If you smell something, call. Because this right here can be in any neighborhood. It can be from the northwest side to the south side to the east side. It can be next door to you. So if you see something, you smell something, call.
What is seeing something, like in cases like this? Because I see massive amounts of liquids, massive amounts of, gallons moving. I mean, what is the thing that people should pay attention to?
Sometimes it's just looking at the trash, right? You can look at your neighbor's trash, and if you see something that's different, you see a whole bunch of containers, you see a whole bunch of duct tape, you see a whole bunch of trash bags, something that's just not normal. That could be the tip that leads us to a big investigation.
Is this a state case or is this a federal case?
State.
It's a state case. The Harris County DA's office will be handling this.
And we hope to see their arraignment tomorrow.
Do we have any idea where or how these chemicals got to these people? Do we know if they were brought over the border? Were they culled locally? Could they get their hands on them from chemical manufacturers in the area? Do we know anything about where those chemicals came from?
We know they were working with Mexican drug cartels.
Okay. So they got them the chemicals and got them across the border to these guys.
And the outstanding thing is the work that law enforcement has done has taken this off the street.
Is this a specific activity related to this specific cartel, the La Familia, Michoacan? Is this a specific activity that they invest their time, their resources, which is meth, because it's maybe easier to sell?
Look, meth is cheap to make, and it's a high profit margin. The drug cartels are just preying on those who have addiction problems, and it's all about the dollar bill. It's all about the green. All they care about is making money. They don't care about your life.
How many more houses are out there?
Look, we're looking for them every single day. And if we get leads, if we get tips, we will investigate it fully and take them out.
Are y'all good?
We're doing Spanish now, right?
No, we're not doing it in Spanish.
One last
No, I'm
question.
kidding.
We can.
How did, we okay?
Yes, go ahead.
One last question. How did you guys find out about this? Was this an anonymous call that came in, or your own investigators heard about it, or how did you find this place?
Look, we received information and we started working it up, and it led to this great seizure.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Como mentioned that we cleared about 25 plan labs this year. It's actually, he's referring to last year. Last year, we've had roughly 25 plan labs that were similar to this one that we came in and we cleared.
That's great. Congratulations. Thank you, Danny.